Merry meet everyone, my name is Maja, but you can also call me KittyMoon, and you're now watching my pagan life. First things first, I just want to tell you something very important, and that is that this summer vacation is going to be consisting of vlogs, recorded by my phone with pretty shitty sound and video quality. Sorry for using a little bit inappropriate language. Now you may be asking, why is that? Well, it just so happens that the camera that I'm recording with doesn't really belong to me. I'm using my iPad to record my videos, and it's my school's iPad, and they are demanding that we deliver them before the vacation starts. But other than that, many of the topics that I've been requested to do, I'm gonna do in some of the vlogs during the summer vacation. So I hope you can understand, I hope you can forgive me, and I truly apologize. Other than that, I've been requested to voice my opinions on Banishing Magick and Reverse Magick. I also thought that I might as well talk about Binding Magick at the same time, because I'm like, oh well, you know what, if we're gonna talk about Banishing Magick in the first place, why not talk about Binding Magick? First of all, Banishing Magick. Banishing Magick is a type of magic you perform when you're wanting to banish something out of your life. And you can literally banish anything. Anything from a person to a horrible situation to an addiction. I think that it should be okay to perform Banishing Magick. It's just that Banishing Magick can be done with a good intention or a bad intention. And doing it with a bad intention, I believe, can have serious consequences. Remember that no matter what spell you do, it's going to be put out there into the universe, and you cannot reverse it. And banishing something out of your life isn't something that should be taken lightly. So I would say that if you are planning on performing Banishing Magick, make sure that you're completely aware of what you're doing, and what consequences it may have. I myself have done a banishing spell before. I'm not all that keen on talking about why I performed this spell, because right at the moment it's actually very personal. I may tell you some other time, I don't know. But before I performed it, I was completely sure of what I was doing. I was like, okay, I'm gonna think this through, and I'm gonna think this through. Like, what am I really doing here? Do I want to do this? But I decided to do it anyway, because I decided that I'm not doing this to hurt anyone. I'm not doing this to hurt myself, especially. I'm just doing this for the greater good. At least that's what I'm hoping for. But yeah, over to binding spells. Now, performing Binding Magick or performing a binding spell involves you binding something to you or keeping something away from you. You can bind a person to you, you can bind an object to you, or you can just keep all these objects or people or things away. Now, is that okay? Well, I would say that if it's with an object, it's more okay than to do it with a person. I truly think that bending a person's will is unacceptable. It's something you shouldn't do for your own sake and for that person's sake, but mostly for your own sake, because you're the only one who's making it worse for yourself. But other than that, I think that Binding Magick can be a good thing. But just like with Banishing Magick, you should be very careful and you should be fully aware of what you're doing, because these types of spells can have serious consequences. The second thing I was requested to talk about was Reverse Magick. Now, when I heard this term, I wasn't really familiar with it. I've never heard about reverse magic or reverse spells. However, after I had slaved 10 minutes or 15 minutes trying to find a page about this type of magic, I came across one page, and it defines reverse magic as when you do a spell to reflect or reverse something negative, something evil, something bad back to the person who has been displaying these things towards you. Basically, when someone else hits you with negativity, a reverse spell is supposed to take that negative energy or that energy and reflect it back, naturally at that specific person. Now, if that is the correct definition, I would say that it's exactly like Banishing and Binding Magick. No, not the concept, but how you should use it, in my opinion. So that basically means that if the intention was good and you reflect that, then that's good, and if the intention was bad and you reflect that back, well then that's horrible. So if you're planning on reflecting positivity back, if that's even possible, then I would say that that is okay. That is something that I would do. But you know how I am. I think it's unnecessary to do someone harm in that way. All of these type of magic, you should be careful about how you use them. Because, as I said, no matter what you put out into the universe, when you've put it out, it's done. Because it will either manifest or it will not. And if it does, well then it's already manifested. And this is the thing about spells. You should never do a spell unless you know what you're doing, because it can have consequences, especially when it comes to these type of magics. If you're gonna banish something or someone out of your life, that's pretty serious. You should think about that. Or if you're going to bind something or someone to you or away from you, you should be careful about that too, because if it works, well, then that's it. And if you're wanting to use a spell to reflect back negativity at the person who threw negativity at you, that can have consequences for you and for them. And since we don't want to hurt ourselves unnecessary and hopefully not others unnecessary too, well then, be careful. Now, I'm sitting here saying that you shouldn't do bad, you should only do good. I understand that it's not always that simple. Sometimes you're like so freaking angry at someone that you want to stab them. Or you're sad, or you're miserable, or you're filled with hatred and revenge, and you're just like, I'm gonna F you up. But trust me, if there is any way you can do it differently, you'll be doing yourself a favor. So make a choice, take responsibility for your actions, and do whatever you may do, because nobody can tell you otherwise. So I hope that gave you some answers. Now you probably know how this goes. Like, comment, and share with your friends to support this video and to spread the word. If you want to support this channel and my future work, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching once again, and blessed be from my pagan life.